Hey, you guys want to go from Israel to Syria and then to Algeria? I thought you said so. Let's do it. Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome on board. And we're back in the cockpit. Good old trusty Airbus A320. We're just going to be continuing our flight around the world in an Airbus A320. So with me today is my good buddy Nafraz. Hey Nafraz, how's it going?
Oh, good. Perfect.
Excellent. All right. So Nafraz is a good friend of mine and a subscriber. And I'll tell you more about him. In fact, he will tell you more about him later on in the video, and he's gonna be my first officer for this flight. Notice how first officer and not he didn't steal my captain's seat like somebody who I will not mention. But anyways, it's all good. Where if you've been following our adventures, the last flight brought us here to Tel Aviv in Israel, Ben Gurion International Airport, where we parked over here at Charlie 7. I think it's Charlie 7. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Charlie 7. All right. Let's just say it's Charlie 7. So now it's going to be onwards to our flight, and we have to make a small pit stop today in Damascus, Syria, which is literally like 20 minutes flying away from here. And from there, it's going to be onwards to Algiers more specifically. So I'll brief you guys about that later on in the video. For now, we want to go into flight ops and basically just brief about our flight from here to Damascus International in Syria. All right, so it's going to be a very quick one. And I'm going to be pilot flying for this leg, and Nafraz is going to be my pilot monitoring. And then from Damascus over to Algeria, that's your pilot. All right, so it's going to be fun, it's going to be educational, it's hopefully not going to be a disaster. We'll see how it goes, but the whole point here is we're just going to have fun, and we're just do what we do. All right, so guys, I'll see you in the briefing. All right, guys, we're here in flight operations. We're using SimBrief like we usually do. And now it's time to plan our flight over from Tel Aviv to Damascus. So I'm just going to come over here. I'm going to do it from scratch. We are waypoints Aviation 320 Lima Bravo Golf. Oscar Sierra Delta India is our the ICAO code for Damascus. And we're going to take Oscar Lima Bravo Alpha Lebanon as our alternate. Okay, so I'm going to choose our airframe as usual. And there we go. It's got our flight plan pretty much in there. And yeah, it changed this automatically. So whenever that happens, guys, when you're using SimBrief, just put it back in again, and then it'll reroute. And there we go. There's Lebanon right over there as our alternate. And there's Damascus right there, and here we are in Ben Gurion International Airport in Tel Aviv. Cost index is going to be 25 today, and we'll keep everything else as normal. We do not need ETOPS, we don't need step climbs, and I'm going to keep the rest of the stuff in case there's any NOTAMs that pilots would need to know. Reserve fuel, as always, will take the standard 30 minutes. And looking at the routing today, it says runway 26. So what we want to do is we're going to just come over here very quickly, and we're going to bring up the METAR for Tel Aviv. And currently the QNH is 1008, and the winds are out of 330 degrees, and temperature is 30 with a dew point of 22. So it can be a little bit hazy, but not so much, I guess, because the temperature is not too high as well. And there are a few clouds at 2,000 feet. And visibility is good for 6.2 statute miles. So all in all, if the direction of the wind is 330 degrees, I would prefer to use runway 30. That would be more preferable. So I'm going to say yes, and it's basically going to do some rerouting for us as well. And now, as you can see, and the arrival will be runway 23 right. And if we look here at the weather in Damascus is expected to be 1708 knots, Cav OK conditions. So if it remains that way, we can continue to use that same runway. So for now, I'm going to accept the runway 23 right, and it's going to be just a 10-minute taxi out and potentially a 10-minute taxi in when we get to Syria. And our passengers, as usual, full load, 180 fatties. And if you would give me the zero fuel weight, please. Nafraz, if I could get the zero fuel weight.
That will be 59.3, which is 59,343.
59343. Got it. All right. My goodness, you guys packed a lot of baggage. Anyways, oops, I put that in the altitude. Sorry. See? Okay, we're going for 21,000 as our maximum altitude and 59,343. There we go. So that should do that, and everything seems to be in order here. And once I get, so basically we're taking off, going to the NAT VOR, then joining the J14 airway, then to waypoint called Folku, and then finally DAM, which is a VOR that sits right over Damascus International Airport. It's a very short flight, 121 nautical miles only. So we're going to have to literally program the departure, the cruise, and the descent, because in 121 miles, I don't think the weather is going to change in Syria in the 20 minutes it's going to take us to get there. So we're pretty much good to go on planning both the departure as well as the arrival right before we depart. Now, looking at the wind situation over here, not that it's going to matter because this is going to be a very short flight. Yeah, we've got pretty much 35 knots tailwind all the way, so we've got no issues for this leg of the flight in terms of our winds, so that's okay. 210 seems to be fine, but I think we can probably bring it down to, actually let's stick to 21,000. All right, you agree? 21,000, good?
Yeah.
All right, fine. Okay, that's good. We're gonna accept this flight plan, and we're gonna go ahead and generate the flight. Excuse me. As it's building the maps, building the flight plan, next thing we want to do is head over to Navigraph. So we've got everything we need here. 32 minutes of airtime, and we're going to use about 4.89 tons of fuel. We've got 5 tons on board the aircraft already, so we're good to go. We can take that. And we're looking at an estimated takeoff weight of 64.1 tons, keeping us well below the maximum landing weight of 66 tons. So we're good to go there. All right, in case of immediate return, we can come back and land. We don't have to do the overweight landing checklist. And yeah, I'm happy with that. Let's go over to Navigraph. Gonna import our flight from SimBrief. Yep, this is it, I guess. And let me just refresh it just to be sure. Import, and yeah, I'm just going to import it right now. There we go. There's the flight plan showing up right over there. I'm going to go with world map for that display, and as you can see, it's got our aircraft right on that right over there at gate Charlie 7. So we're going to be using runway 30, so essentially it's going to be pushing back nose to the left, and we'll taxi along taxiway Mike, literally all the way down to the holding point of yeah, we can go all the way down to down Mike, then join Kilo, and come down to Hotel Sierra 2, and then we can get onto the runway, and then we're good to go. So that's the taxi options that we have for today, the only taxi option we have for today. And in terms of our departures, we're using runway 30, and the departures that are available to us are gonna be all right, here we go. So we want to depart and join, so we'll be departing runway 30, which is this way out towards the Mediterranean Sea. So I want to choose a departure that would take us basically outbound, and then basically direct us on a and then we'll probably request a direct towards NAT right over there. So what I think we could do is we could probably take the Suez 1 Foxtrot. It's quick. We get off, and then we go straight down towards the November Alpha Tango VOR, because the other ones, they end somewhere around here. We could also do the Daphne, but midway through Daphne we'll request a direct to NAT from ATC. So I think we'll take the Daphne 1 Foxtrot. All right, you agree?
Agree.
All right, cool. Let's add that to our flight plan. All right, so we're basically gonna take off, and let me bring up the chart for this so we can brief it. So here it is. We're referring to plate number 10-3 Charlie, effective the 4th of November. It's an RNAV SID for Tel Aviv. We're using Daphne 1 Foxtrot. So basically it has us taking off from the runway 296, making a left-hand turn to Rotom, maximum speed 210, 3,000 feet or higher. And then as we come up to, then we get to Orlev, maximum speed 250 and 8,000 feet or lower. Then to Tapos, where we have to be at either not higher than 8,000 but not lower than 5,000. Then at Kisef, where we can go above 8,000 as well. We're going to make a right-hand turn to UVAL. Now when I get to UVAL, we're going to request a direct to NAT, and then basically that will save us from having to go all the way there and then come around. So if ATC allows, we're going to go direct to there, and then that'll be good for us. So that's what we have in terms of the departure. The minimum safe altitude in this region is going to be 2,500 in the region we're taking off into, and 5,000 in the eastern side. And initial climb is going to be 3,000 feet, which if you could set on the MCP for us so we don't forget it later. So initial climb 3,000, and yeah, we're pretty much good to go. Any questions on that?
No questions, Captain.
Alrighty, good. So once we get airborne, then we'll immediately start planning. We'll check the weather in Syria, and then we'll plan our descent and approach once we get there. Okay, so in the meantime, I think we're good to go on that. We've got the taxi out information that we need as well, and now it's just about doing the performance. All right, so let's come back here. Our takeoff weight is 64125. Gonna copy that over and head over to the performance calculator. We are 320-214. Gonna put that in there, and there we go. What's our CG today, please?
That's 27.9.
27.9, and we can use flaps 1 plus F and air conditioning on. Lima Bravo Golf is our ICAO code for today. We're using runway 30. It actually picked up the information this time, miraculously. QNH is 1008, so if you want to set that on your barrow as well, 1008. So that we don't, yep, temperature 30 degrees, 330, 7 knots. Perfect. All right, let's hit calculate. And there's our speeds. So we can do a flaps 1 takeoff with a trim of up 0.1 on the THS. Flex temperature is going to be 68 degrees today, 146, 151. And that's basically all she wrote. We're good to go. Anything you want to add?
All good.
All right, perfect. All right, guys, we're done with the flight planning. We're gonna go into the cockpit, program the MCDU, and then we're gonna start the flight. See you guys there. Alrighty, guys, we're back in the cockpit, and we just programmed in the MCDU. For those of you who have not seen this before, I'll link in the description below a video where it will teach you how to program the MCDU. I've got tons of them out there, so you can go ahead and watch that later. But to keep things simple, we just check the data, we check the aircraft status to make sure that the aircraft database was valid. Then we came over to the init A page. We put in all our information, including our alternate and our cruising flight level. Then in the flight plan, we just literally built up the flight plan as we planned it in our briefing, and then put the secondary flight plan, which is basically returning us back to Ben Gurion Airport, just in case we have a failure shortly after takeoff. On the RadNav, we hard tuned NAT VOR because that's what we're tracking outbound, And then we came back to the init B page, put in all our parameters for the performance, and then finally we put our V speeds in there, along with our flap and THS setting flex 68. And yeah, so it's all good to go. Everything's programmed in. It's now time to program in the glare shield. So follow along with me, Nafraz. So make sure QNH is 1008 and I'm reading 120 feet if you just want to check your side as well.
1008, confirm.
Checked. All right, so now we're going to go arc, come down to 10 miles. Initial climb 3000 set. Yep, very
Set.
good. You want to make sure constraints are on your side as well, so we get the
Yep.
waypoint information as well. All right, we've got the so now that the fueling is finished, I'm gonna go ahead, put the seatbelt signs on, get those going there, and I'm going to disconnect from external power, let the APU run. And yeah, so that's pretty much good over there. I'm gonna request the ground crew to take away the ground power, which they've done. Yep, they've done that, and they're pretty much good to go, I guess, on the pushback. So in the meantime, let's do the the cockpit preparation checklist, please.
Are you ready, Captain?
Go for it, please.
Gears, pins and covers.
Gear pins and covers are removed.
Fuel quantity.
5 tons.
Seat belts.
Seatbelts are on.
ADIRS.
The IRSs are in nav, and we can also double check them over here in data, IRS monitor. They're all 3 in nav.
Barrel reference.
1008 reading 120 and cross-checked on the standby as well.
Cockpit preparation check complete.
Beautiful. All right, let's get the ground crew to start closing doors. In the meantime, I'm just going to get the beacon going as well to indicate that we're pretty much ready to go. And guys, we'll get back to you in just a few seconds.
A few moments later.
All right, they've removed the bridge. Those are closed, slides are armed, and I got the beacon going as well. The guy is underneath the aircraft doing his final checks. So Nafraz, if I could have the before start checklist, please.
Before start, parking brake.
Parking brakes are on for now.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
You don't say. Okay, cool. Continue.
Takeoff speed and thrust.
Takeoff speeds 46, 46, 51, and yeah, the thrust is going to be flex, so 68, and it's also on the speed tape, so we're good there.
146, 146, 151 and thrust 68 confirmed.
Checked.
Windows
Windows and doors closed.
closed. Checked. Beacon.
Beacon is on, sir.
Before start, checklist complete.
Beautiful. All right, now we're just gonna wait for the push, and yeah, let's and then we're pretty much good to go on that. So just waiting for this gentleman,
Locking gear.
that guy. Another day, another flight. By the way, guys, Nafraz he's not just some random person I dragged off the street and brought in to fly with me. He's actually a commercial pilot with multi-engine and instrument rating, and I'll let him tell you all about that later on when we're on our way and we have a nice long cruise. But yeah, he is a pilot, so don't worry, he does know what he's doing.
Release parking brakes, please.
Okay, so we've done the before start checklist, right?
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So let's go. He wants us to release the parking brakes. So parking brakes coming off.
Commencing push.
All right.
All engines clear. Start at will.
Okay, we will start at will for sure. If you wouldn't mind pushing us first. There we go. We're moving. All right. Gonna go ahead and start engine number 2, sir. Okay. Over there and up and forward. There we go. N2 rotating. Here we go. At about 20% N2, we're gonna get fuel flow. Oh, there he is down there. Alright. N2 is rising, fuel flow is rising, EGT is rising, my blood pressure is rising. N1 is rising. Okay, hopefully they push us back onto a proper taxiway this time. Last time they just put me in the grass and left me there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, we need about 30 to 45 seconds for a good healthy engine start. This might take a little bit longer because it's the first flight of the day. Look at him jogging over there, burning calories. Come on, come on. All right, engine 2 is available. Starting engine number 1, up and forward. Okay, that sound of a dog barking is not actually a dog. It's the PTU, the power transfer unit on the hydraulic panel. Okay, looks like he's gonna dump us here. Look at that smug look on his face.
Please set parking brakes.
Oh, really? Oh, sure. Okay, fine. Okay, fine. Parking brakes on.
Waiting your confirmation for a good engine start.
Sure. I'll let you know. Alrighty. And this is the perfect time to be flying, just at sunset. Which means when you're flying, you're gonna have a nice sunset flight over the Mediterranean. Lucky. Alright, waiting for engine number 1 to start up, and then we're good to go. Lovely, we got 2 good engine starts. My memory items are going to be, all right, first let me tell this guy that we've got a good start, so he'll leave us alone. All right, I'm going to confirm you have a good start.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start.
That's
You
not
can
my
disconnect.
voice. All right, okay, he'll disconnect. All right, my memory items are, I'm going to go ahead and put this to normal. I'll come up here. We don't need the APU bleed anymore. We check if we need anti-ice. We don't. And then APU master off. Nafraz, for you as pilot monitoring, you will arm the spoilers by pulling them up. You will just push the reset of the rudder trim. Yep, that's good. Set the flaps.
Flaps to 1.
Yep, that's what we're using today. And you're going to just move the side stick slightly, and that will bring up the page over there. And now you're going to use the trim to set 0.1 nose up. So bring it back until it says 0.1 nose up. So you're almost there. Beautiful. And now you're going to go into the status page, and we're just going to check the status of the aircraft.
Tow truck disconnected.
Okay.
Bypass pin removed.
Thank you. All right.
Left is clear. Right is clear.
Okay, all systems are normal while the captain is abnormal. So everything's as it should be. All right, let's take the status page away, and we're going to do a flight control check. As you see me deflect it, call it out, okay? So I'm going to go full left. All right, there we go.
Full right. Neutral. Full up. Neutral. Full down. Neutral.
Okay, going on the rudders.
Full left. Neutral. Full right. Neutral.
All right, you check your side stick. You don't have to check the rudders because they're mechanical. So you just have to check your side stick. In case something happens to me, you need to fly the plane, dude. Thank you, sir. We have the pin. Okay, flight controls are checked. I will take the, okay, so now you, as pilot monitoring, you want to get the weather radar going, which is this guy over here. Flick him over to auto. And you're going to turn the TCAS onto auto and the altitude reporting on. And we will we'll put that one to TARA later when we just were about to get off the runway. Okay, excellent. So what we can do is now you could go ahead and just complete the memo, which is going to be maximum auto brakes, and we'll run the takeoff configuration test as well. There we go. Cool. All right. So I'll take the taxi checklist, please.
Taxi checklist. Flight controls.
Flight controls are checked.
Checked. Flap setting.
Config 1+F.
Flaps on. Front. Radar and
Yeah, predictive wind shear on and auto.
yeah. Engine mode selector.
Is normal.
ECAM memo.
ECAM memo is takeoff, no blue.
Taxi checks complete.
Perfect. All right. So now it's time to taxi over to the runway. So guys, we'll get back to you when we're holding short at the runway, ready for departure. See you soon. All right, guys, here we are taxiing down towards the holding short point of runway 30. So what we can do now is, in preparation for this, we can go ahead and do the lineup checklist, please.
Line checklist.
All right.
Takeoff runway.
Oh, standby. I asked for it prematurely. It's coming up here. The whole short point for runway 30 is coming up. So standby. Uno momento. Alright, so you want to hold down on the PA button on your thing and tell the cabin crew to be seated. Yeah, so you got a PA button there. So hold down on that and you can tell them to be seated. Also,
Cabin crew, please be seated for takeoff.
Excellent. Alright. Okay, I got the parking brake set. Alright, lineup checklist, please.
Lineup checklist. Takeoff runway.
30 confirmed.
30 confirmed. TCAS.
TCAS, you can put the TA and RA now, please.
TRA.
Okay.
PAX 1 and 2.
PAX 1 and 2 will remain on for takeoff.
Lineup checklist confirmed.
Alright, let's assume we're cleared for takeoff. Lights are coming on. Lights, camera, action. You ready to go?
Ready to go.
Alright, let's go. Brakes off, and away we go. Alright, we're clear on the left. And you can tell me if you're clear on the right.
Clear on the right.
Checked. Alright. Look at that sunset.
Take off to the sun.
Into the sun, literally. Alright, you good to go?
Good to go.
We'll do a roll and start. Okay, on the side stick, one little down there, and basically going to give it 50% N1. And let's go. Click and click. Manflick 68, SRS runway, auto thrust blue.
Check.
Call me 100 knots, okay, when we cross it.
Knots.
Checked. Centralize the stick. When you get the blue one, you can call V1 and then rotate.
V1, rotate.
Here we go. To the sky.
Positive climb.
Gear up, please.
Gear up.
Nav. Oh, that left turn came almost immediately.
Yeah.
Alright, no problem. I got it. Check, alright. Just gonna continue hand flying the aircraft just for a little bit. Alright, we should get to thrust reduction acceleration at about 1600 feet, and then I'll bring the power levers back from flex over to climb. Alright, there's lever climb, so bring it back. Thrust climb, auto thrust white. And there's downtown Tel Aviv right there. I heard they have good shawarmas down here.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard. Alright, less than 1,000 to go. Set 21,000 on the FCU, please. And push it in, so we'll do a managed climb. There we go. That's it. Alright, so I've got climb alt 8,000 magenta. So basically, because you pushed it in, it's doing a managed climb.
Right.
So it's going to follow all these altitude constraints that we have in there. It's going to follow those. If you pull it, it goes to what we call open climb, which means it will disregard all of these and go straight away to the altitude that you want. So that's the difference between managed and selected on the Airbus. But yeah, we've got S speed now, so we're good for flaps up, please.
Speed checks, flaps 0.
Lovely. And when you go flap 0 in the 320, we also turn off the 2 outer lights as well, so you can do that. Excellent. Good first officer, this one. Alrighty, making our right. Okay, right over the Mediterranean now. We'll get the terrain radar going as well. And yep, I think I can get the autopilot on now as well. So AP1, yeah, AP1 for me, please. Lovely. All right, that's autopilot 1 set. And climbing away. Alrighty. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna keep on going, and then once we get to 10,000, then I'll tell you what to do when we get to 10,000. In the meantime, if I bring up our VOR, okay, here we go. So if you're looking at the iPad, I hope you guys can see it. You can see we're actually following the SID nicely outbound, keeping with our altitude constraints as well. And yeah, so far so good. Look at that, right over the neck. So it's got an 8,000 limitation over here. That's why it's leveling us off at 8,000. That's a constraint. Once we go beyond this next waypoint, that's when the aircraft no longer has an 8,000 constraint, and then it will continue to climb up to whatever altitude we're cleared to. So it should be good to go in just a few moments. Yeah, you see constraint, CST? That means the aircraft is holding here. Even though you put 21,000 here, we're still gonna hold 8,000 here. So that's all that information is taken from the box, from the database in the Airbus, which is why we check the database immediately. That's one of the first things we check when we get into the cockpit, because we want to make sure that the database is valid, because the database will follow all this information that has to be followed. Alrighty, so what we can do now is, let's assume they've given us an unrestricted climb to 210. So you can go ahead and actually no, I'm flying, so I have to pull this. So now I'm going to pull it, and now it's open climb, which means it's going to disregard all these constraints, and it's going to go straight to 21,000, or flight level 210 rather. Now when we get to 10,000, you can do your 10,000 checks, and then basically we can start planning for the descent and arrival. There used to be an after takeoff climb checklist, but now Airbus has removed it. It's gone. So the next checklist we will do is actually the approach checklist. All right, they're coming up on 10,000 very soon. Okay, Nafraz, your 10,000 checks would be first to retract the two outer lights all the way out to retract. So these they fold out. So you have to retract them in, yeah, all the way down. There you go. And check if the weather is good, and then you can put the seatbelt signs off. That will release the crew to start the service. Then we're gonna go airport on either one of our screens, on both of our screens. And now you wanna come down to your MCDU, and you're going to go RadNav, and you're going to clear these two. So they're going to be auto-tuned. So push clear, and yeah, on the top. And then do the same for the right hand side as well. There we go. Now you come to secondary flight plan. Copy active. That's it. Those are your 10,000 checks, and yeah, we're in for the flight. So we're all good, and yeah, we'll be making a right turn towards Syria that way. Alright guys, we'll get back to you when we're about to start our descent, once we've checked our weather and stuff. So yeah, see you soon. Alright guys, it's a beautiful evening for flying. We've reached our cruising altitude at flight level 210, and we're pretty much right on our way towards Damascus. So now, because we only have 121 miles to go, and it says we're 96 miles away from the Delta Alpha Mike VOR, which sits right next to Damascus International Airport, we need to start planning. So the first thing is we're going to look at our weather. The weather in Damascus right now, as we speak, is a QNH of 1009er. Winds are 220 at 8 knots, 34 degrees is the temperature, with a 10 degrees of dew point. Ceiling and visibility is okay. So that's looking really good for what we want to do. So if I come to, so you have control, all right, you have control and communications. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into plan mode. I'm going to come here, put constraints on. And what I want to do is, we had chosen the arrival of ILS 23 right via the Damascus 1 VOR. So that's what we wanted to do, and basically we can continue with the same thing because the weather has not changed. In fact, the weather is favoring it more. So as I cycle through, you'll see we're gonna get to the Damascus VOR, 5,000 feet. We have to be at 5,000 feet by the time we get there, and as we go on, we're gonna get to that waypoint over there, and then we're gonna go outbound for about 4 miles, swing around, descend to 4,000, and then join the ILS and coming to land on runway 23 right. Okay, so if we were to bring up the airport chart for Damascus, so I hope you guys can see it clearly. If I zoom out a little bit and bring us into Damascus, we are looking to land on runway 23 right, which is right over there, and we could potentially exit at either Romeo or Sierra, and then I'm expecting them to give us parking number 7, which is right over there. So yeah, we can take Sierra, then Alpha, all the way down to Charlie 1, and then we can park in that region over there. So, but we'll see what happens when we get there. But nonetheless, we're going to be landing on runway 23 right. And for the ILS, let me bring up the ILS here. So I'll superimpose it on your screens as well. It's going to be referring to plate 11-1, which is an ILS for runway 0. No, sorry, my bad. Hang on. Sorry guys, I loaded up the wrong runway. Stand by. ILS 23 right. Okay, here we go. Your ILS. Okay, we got it here. So it's plate number 11-6, ILS DME 3 for runway 23 right. So actually, no, stand by again. It's going to be 11-7, sorry, 11-7. That's going to be the plate we want. Okay, frequency is 109.9, which is cross-checked in the box as well on the RadNav page. 109.9, India Delta Alpha is the identifier, and the final course is 223. And it's 225 on the chart, 223 on the database, which is okay. Final approach fix starts at 4,000, and we've got a minimum of 21905. And in case of missed approach, the procedure is to climb on heading 225, then proceed inbound to the Alpha Bravo Delta NDB, climb to 5,000 feet. So 5,000 is our go around altitude for today. And the minimum safe altitude in the northwestern sector is going to be 9,000, and in the southeastern sector it's going to be 5,000. All right, so that's pretty much it. You got all that, Nafraz?
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, so now the next thing we want to do is we want to calculate our descent. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do the hat. So the flight plan was done. I'm going to go RadNav, and I'm going to hard tune Delta Alpha Mike over there, and Delta Alpha Mike over there. All that's good to go. Progress, we've got Oscar Sierra Delta India 23 right. We'll put that there. GPS is primary, accuracy is high. We'll come to performance, and the QNH is standby 1. Let's get the QNH again. Yep, QNH is 1009er. Temperature is 34 degrees. The winds are 220 at 8 knots. And the minimums for this approach are going to be 21995. Put that in there, and that shows up on our barrel. Now we calculate our when we want to descend. So initially we're going to be descending down to 5,000 feet. We're at 21,000 minus 5,000 is 16,000. So 16, let's bring up a quick calculator because all pilots are bad in math. So 16 times 3 is going to be 48 plus 5, and that's going to be 53. We'll round it to 54. So we come here, we'll take any waypoint, fix info, we'll put the Delta Alpha Mike, which is our reference, and we're going to put 54 miles right there, and we just crossed our 54-mile ring. Okay, so we should start our descent now. So if you're ready, I have control, and I'm gonna set 4,000 in there, and push. All right, descent alt and magenta for 5,000. We are descending down to a QNH of 1009er, and we're going below transition. So let's push that in there now. Set 1009 as your thing there. Okay, that's set there, and we can get the seatbelt signs going now. And pretty much we've started the descent, so I'll have the approach checklist, please.
Barrel reference.
Barrel reference 1009er, reading 20,400 now.
009, check.
Okay.
Seatbelts.
Seatbelts are on.
Minimum.
Minimums are 21905 on the barrel.
Auto brake.
Auto brakes, we're going to use auto brakes low for this approach today.
Engine mode select.
Engine mode selector is normal.
Approach checks complete.
Approach checklist complete. Beautiful. All right, guys, that's about it. Now we've done the approach checklist. We've started our descent. As we go along, we just want to make sure that we stay on our profile. And I believe a little bit of drag is required, so I'm just going to push down here, bring it to about half point, and I just want to recover that little circle back. That's our vertical profile back into the middle. If we come to the progress page, you can see we're about 450 feet above, but it's dropping, which means we're catching up to our profile, and there it is, it's coming back as well. So once it's back there, I'll store the speed brakes, and then we're pretty much good to go. So the sun is setting in the Middle East, and can just barely make the mountains over there in that sunset silhouette. But yeah, fantastic. Have you been to Syria yet?
Not yet.
Well, you're going there now, virtually speaking. So yeah, it is a beautiful country, guys, and if you get the chance to go there, I highly recommend you do. It's been they've gone through a lot lately, you know, with all the whole political unrest and all that kind of stuff. We've got our vertical profile, so I'm coming back here to store the speed brakes. But it is a beautiful country with a lot of history, so I would love to be able to visit there. I've been there a couple of times before, but I would love to go back again. Such a beautiful country, and one of the friendliest people in the Middle East, I'm told. So yeah, let's keep them in your prayers, and okay, let's get on with this. So guys, we'll get back to you when we're just about to go outbound from the Damascus VOR and go in for the landing. See you soon. Alrighty, we're approaching the Damascus VOR. We're literally just a few miles out, and we're going to turn on the landing screens as well, so we get the ILS information on our PFDs. And yeah, I can actually see the airport. So this is 05 right and 05 left. We're going to go outbound, swing around, and come back on runway 23 left, which is right, that one right over there. We're on profile, which is looking good, which is what we want. And you've done your 10,000 checks. Lights were on, all good. You can put constraints back onto the EFIS as well. So yeah, looking good there. And just make an active copy of that just in case. And perfect. Okay, so now we are, how many track miles to go?
It's 4.8. 26.
26 track miles. Okay, so 26 track miles. Here we go, speed all star. So at 15 track miles, we're going to come to performance, activate the approach phase so that the aircraft starts to slow down. All right, so that's what you're going to do when we get to 15 miles. In fact, the aircraft is already slowing down to less than 250 because of a constraint. So you can activate the approach phase now. Actually, go to performance and activate approach phase and confirm. Beautiful. That's it. That will slow the aircraft down to green dot speed. So that's okay. In fact, we're right over the airfield, so it kind of makes sense to do it right now. Now come back to flight plan page on your box, and then at 15 miles onwards, let me know when we're 15 miles, and then I'll give the request for the flap extension.
Copy that.
All right. Cool. Sun is setting. All right, so looking good over there. And then once we land, we're going to do a quick flight plan for our flight to Algiers, and then you're flying. No pressure. 180 people in the back. No pressure whatsoever. Alright, track distance check please.
19 nautical miles.
19, alright, cool. And on progress, we're pretty much on the profile, -2. Very good. Looking very, very good on the profile as well, the vertical profile. Very soon we're going to be turning outbound and then we'll swing around and come back in. So yeah, looking good. Oh yep, even the EFB says we're doing okay. Here we go, starting the turn outbound. In fact, if it's okay with you, I'm gonna hand fly.
Yeah.
Autopilot's coming off. Alright, here we go. Hand flying the aircraft. Just making sure we stay right in the middle of the SRS. Okay, we've got descent going down to 4,000.
15 nautical miles.
15, give me flaps 1 please.
Speed check. Flaps 1.
Check. So now, because I'm hand flying the aircraft, you'll have to set the FCU for me, alright?
Right.
So when the autopilot's on, I control the FCU. When the autopilot is off and I'm hand flying, you're gonna have to help me out with that, okay?
Right.
That's all part of the MCC, multi-crew coordination, cooperation, communication, constipation. I don't know, the C stands for something. Multi-crew constipation. Alright, there's the glide slope coming in. We'll maintain S speed until we finish the turn. Here we go, turning back in. So Nafraz, it's safe for you to tell me,
Yeah.
are you a Boeing or an Airbus man?
I love the Airbus.
You're an Airbus guy?
Yes.
Alright, welcome to the club. I mean, I've flown them before. I even still instruct on the 737, but Airbus is one of those planes that just makes life a little bit easier for you, especially when you have to do multiple rotations like this. Do a short hop to one country, do a quick turnaround there, and then fly on to another country. You want to be in an Airbus.
That's the first aircraft I actually learned what it is.
Oh, okay.
I got to know the Cessna after 10 years, I think.
Oh, okay. Alright, give me, actually arm localize the glide slope as well for me, please, with the approach button over there. That's it, perfect. Alright, so I've got GS lock in blue, Cat 1. And I'll take flaps 2 now, please.
Speed check. Flaps 2.
Yep, go for it. Beautiful. When the glide slope is 1 bar above center, I'll take gear down and flaps 3. I'll call for it anyways. And as you can see, there's so little movement that is required, you know, because with every little input I give into the side stick, the trim wheels move to auto trim the aircraft, which is like the bread and butter of Airbus pretty much. Alright, inbound on, okay, I got the runway in sight right over there. You got it?
Yes.
Perfect, alright. Alright, the localizer should come alive very soon, and then we'll capture the localizer. Then all that's left is the glide slope. And keep in mind the go around altitude is 5,000. So as soon as we have the go around, as soon as we have the glide slope, okay, lock star, we're capturing the localizer right now. Alright, nice. Okay, pretty much. Okay, localizer. Lock.
Lock.
Checked.
Checked.
Alright, very good. And okay, that looks good there. Glide slope is alive. So we're on localizer. Slight crosswind now. Winds are looking, it looks like it's coming straight from the side at 5 knots.
Oh, that's right.
That's okay. It's just 5 knots. It's
Yeah.
nothing to cry about. All right, glide slope is 1 bar above. I'll take gear down and flaps 3, please.
Gear down. Flaps 3.
Sweet. All right, excellent. Glide slope star. Here comes the gear. Alright, very soon we'll be established on the glide slope. Alright, glide slope set go around altitude 5,000 please.
5,000.
Checked. And give me flaps 3. Oh, we got a flaps 3 already,
Yeah.
right? Give me flaps 4 please.
Speed check. Flaps 4.
Alright. And I'll take the landing checklist.
Landing checklist. ECAM on.
Landing no blue.
Check. Landing checks complete.
Okay, excellent. And let's assume we're clear to land. These lights can come on as well. It's actually quite a big airport,
Yeah.
Damascus International. I mean, before they had, all that political issues and stuff like that, it was actually one of the major airports in the Middle East. Small corrections just to keep her going where we want it to be.
1,000.
Checked.
Check.
Alright, the sudden shift in the wind there.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's okay. I got it. We're stable. We're stable, so we're okay. Checked. Disregard.
400.
Land.
300. 100 above. 200. Minimum.
Continue. Slightly low, correcting. Alright.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. Retard. 5.
Okay. So we got spoilers, got reverses green, and decel. Lovely. Just using rudders, maintaining center line on the tiller, and we'll take the next exit if we can. There's 17 knots. We're gonna go idle reverse and switch off the auto brakes for me, please. Manual braking now. Okay. So, and below 60, full idle on the thrust levers. Alright, we'll take the next exit as planned, and then we should be good to go. Manual braking. Just looking for the line to exit. Here we are. Here's the line. I'm gonna exit here, so just squeeze the brakes gently, and you can actually use the rudders with the tiller to help it out. And okay, so I'll hold short over here until we get further clearance. In fact, we'll probably request a follow me car to take us in. So I'm gonna hold short here and set the parking brakes. Yeah, brakes are on. Okay, so your items will be so my items are going to be to disarm the spoilers. Your item will be to get the flaps back to 0. Yeah, one by one. Flaps all the way to 0. TCAS can go off now. and even from here, standby. Yep, reporting off, standby off as well. Yeah, that can go to standby. And the weather radar can go off as well. And you will now come up here and you're going to basically turn on the APU. Yeah. All right, and that's basically it. And I'll take the after landing checklist.
After landing checklist, radar and predictive wind shear.
Radar predictive wind shear is off.
After landing checklist complete.
Excellent. All right, guys, we'll get back to you when we have a follow me car and taxiing over to the gate. All right, guys, we got our follow me car, and there he is right over there. We're just gonna follow him over to our gate. All right, so we're just gonna continue following him, and then I'll get back to you when we're just about to park. All right, I think we have our gate, which is, yeah, I'm just gonna pull right over along the side of this 320 over here. Okay, here we go. Lights off, please.
Off.
Alright, I'm just gonna put it here, squeeze the brakes. Alright, parking brakes come on. And alright, so lights are off, APU is available, so we're gonna go ahead and shut down 1, shut down 2. Then we wait for both engines to go below 10%, then we can get the rest of the stuff going. Dome lights come on. Alright, below 10%, so strobes off, beacon off, seatbelt signs off, emergency lights. APU bleed can come on, and you can go ahead and turn off the fuel pumps, please. The two on the left. So you find the fuel panel.
Yep.
So right there, you can,
Okay.
those two. Yep, the two in the middle. Yep, and the two on the side. Excellent. All right, okay, that's good. Gave him the signal, and they're going to start opening the doors, preparing for the arrival. Parking checklist, please.
Parking checklist, parking brake or chocks,
Parking brakes are set.
engines,
Off.
wing lights,
Off.
fuel pumps.
Fuel pumps are off.
Parking checklist complete.
Lovely. All right, here we are in Damascus, Syria. All right, so now it's a where we have a quick turnaround here. We're going to refuel the aircraft. We're going to do our flight planning, and then it's your turn to fly this aircraft over to Algiers at night. All right, let's go. All right, guys, time to create our flight plan that will take us out of Damascus over to Algeria. So we're gonna go here and create a new flight plan. We are, as always, Waypoints Aviation 320. We're at Oscar Sierra Delta India, and we're going to Delta Alpha Alpha Golf. And that's gonna be, and I'll leave the alternate blank for now because it tends to change it. And here we go, coming up right there. So there's pretty much our flight plan right over there, taking off from Damascus, heading north. Then we make a left turn towards the west, right over Larnaca, and back over the Mediterranean Sea, crossing Crete, and then even Malta, like just skim it over the north of Malta, and then we come up over, we make landfall over Tunis more specifically, and then it's on to Algeria, to the city of Algiers. All right, so what we're gonna do now is we're just gonna, I want to put Tunisia as our alternate, because in case something goes wrong, then we can always file our alternate here. So I've done that, and it's, you can see here the alternate is set to Tunis right now. And we're going to come over here, put our cost index of 25. We're going to, we don't need ETOPS, but we can do planned step climbs. That's all right. We'll take our extra 30 minutes of reserve fuel. This is going to be about 10 minutes of taxi out, and I'll put 10 minutes of taxi in as well. We're looking to take off on runway 23 right, which works out very well for us based on where we're parked, and estimated to be landing on runway 05. So let me come here, choose our passenger load, and Nafraz, if you could give me the zero fuel weight, please.
Sure, that will be 59343.
Okay, perfect. That's the one we want. 59343. Okay, so we hadn't loaded the parameters into the simulator yet. So, all right, that's fine. 59343. And as you can see, guys, that is our entire route. It's a long one. This is going to be a 4-hour, 55-minute block flight. Almost 5 hours of flying time. So yeah, these are all the waypoints and airways that we're going to be flying right through until we get to our destination. It's pretty much right over the Mediterranean Sea, right through the middle of the Mediterranean Sea, and it's going to be absolutely beautiful. Now, just to confirm the runways, I want to come over here and I want to bring up the weather. So if you look at the weather here, it says the winds are actually 160 knots, which is interesting because the flight plan has us going on runway 23, but then this is very close to runway 23 as well, so we're going to take that. Okay, so we can stick to runway 23. It's going to be a crosswind of 9 knots as you're going down the runway. QNH is 1003, and our temperature today is 40 degrees with a dew point of 4. So it's actually not going to be very hazy today, which is good. Ceiling visibility okay. So that's pretty much what we got over there. Now if we want to think about our taxi, so let me come over to Navigraph. If we come over to the airport, and actually if I come here, unload all of that, and as we zoom in on our map over here, we can see that we're parked over here at gate 606, and runway 23 is right over there. So it's basically pushing back, and then we can probably get onto taxiway Echo, then Alpha, and then straight down. Or we could very quickly just took runway 23 left. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to change it to runway 23 left, and then that will help us for an easy taxi. So let's request that in our flight plan. We're going to come here, runway 23 left. It's going to ask me if I want to change, and it did. So yeah, pretty much nothing changed in terms of the SID. So we're good. We can use runway 23 left, which is going to be an easy taxi out, straight away onto Echo, and then right onto Juliet, and then onto the runway. So very quick, very good. And so come back here, we're going to generate this flight plan, and then we're just going to have a look at what our fuel requirements are going to be. All right, looking at this, you can see that we've got an airtime of 4 hours and 10 minutes, a block time of 4 hours 30 minutes. Takeoff weight is going to be 75.4 tons, definitely higher than our maximum landing weight. So just in case we need to come back around, we would have to do the overweight landing checklist before we come back in. We're taking 16.1 tons of fuel on board with us, and that's pretty much the situation we have there. Now if I click over here, just want to look at the weather situation, specifically the winds, whether we have headwinds to help us out or tailwinds, headwinds that are working against us, and actually it is. So as we take off and head right over the Mediterranean, it's going to be headwinds pretty much all the way. Look at that. So we're going to have to keep an eye on our fuel burn as we go along. Pretty much every hour we'll be doing our fuel burn, just to calculations, just to make sure that we've got enough to reach. And if not, then we'd probably have to consider, if we get less than the fuel we require, we're probably going to have to divert over to Tunisia. All right, so that's the plan we've got going there. But generally speaking, if we do the step climbs and the optimums, then we should be able to fly at the optimum altitude, which will keep the aircraft burning at the right amount of fuel to get us there, and we have our reserves anyway as well, so we're pretty much good to go. Coming back to the charts, we are going to now load up our flight plan from SimBrief. There it is right there, and as we do so, there it is. That's our flight plan all the way right across, as I just showed you on the previous screen. And what I want to do is I want to get the chart for the LEBOR 1 SID. So if we come to airports, we'll come here, we'll go to the SIDs, and we want the LEBOR 1 departure. So as you can see, it has us taking off on runway 23. And once we go runway 23, we get to the Damascus VOR, where we make a sharp right-hand turn to 004 degrees, and then we fly outbound to ADRA, where we have to be 10,000 feet or higher, and then we have to be at Malula, which is 16,000 feet, flight level 160 or higher, and then we finally get to LEBOR, and then we onwards onto the airways. The minimum safe altitude in the southeastern sector is 5,000 feet, and in the northwest it's 9,000. That's because of the terrain in that area. Transition altitude is 13,000 feet, airport elevation 2020. I was referring to 10-3, plate number 10-3, which is SID for Damascus. All right, so that's pretty much what we have going on for the SID for the departure. And all that's left to do now is get the fuel loaded, get the final load sheet for our CG, and then we can do our performance calculations. All right, do you, anything you want to add, Nafraz?
Not at the moment. Everything is clear, Captain.
Okay, good. So if it's clear for you, that's good. We'll do our fuel calculations, and then we're going to do our get the new CG, and then we can go ahead and plug this into the performance calculator, and then we're pretty much done to set off. All right, guys, we'll get back to you in just a minute when we've done our fuel and performance calculations. Okay, we've loaded on the fuel to the aircraft. We've got our new load sheet and our CG, so we're going to go ahead, choose Airbus A320. I'm going to paste in our takeoff weight. And can I get the new CG, please, Nafraz?
The new CG is 26.1.
26.1, and we can use flaps 1 for the takeoff and air conditioning on. Oscar Sierra Delta India. And I hope it picks it up. It did not, so no worries. What we're going to do is we're going to get the runway length from here. So we come over to, we can actually click on that, and runway 23 left, the length is 3,600 meters, so we put that in there. And the runway direction is a actual direction of 225 degrees, and the airport elevation is 2020. All right, and it should pick up the QNH information as well. There we go, it's loading it in. If it doesn't, I'll just plug it in manually. Hopefully it gets it. If it doesn't, I'm just gonna plug it in manually. I'm just gonna do it manually from here for some reason. Okay, QNH is 1003. The temperature is 40. The winds were 160 at 9 knots. So 9 knots. All right, we've got all the information we need. Can you just cross check if everything's correct?
Perfect.
Yep.
Cross-checked.
All right, cross check, calculate, and there we go. There's our speeds, guys. So we've got flaps 1 with a trim of up 0.5. We will be doing a full toga takeoff today because we're fully loaded, and our speeds are 149, 152, and 157. All right, so that is basically what we're looking at in terms of our performance for the takeoff. All that's left to do now is head back into the cockpit, program everything into the box, and we're good to go. See you guys there. All right, we're back in the cockpit. We have programmed in our entire flight plan. As you can see, we've got 1,732 miles to go, and yeah, so everything's looking good right over there. Whole flight plan's programmed. Nafraz has got performance on his side. I've got flight plan on my side. So we just want to set up our glare shield. Flight director is on. QNH is 1003, and our initial climb, which will be confirmed in just a second once we set up all of that. So I'm gonna come to ARC 10 miles, and yeah, so pretty much the setup of the cockpit is done. Fueling is done, so we're gonna get the seatbelt signs on, no smoking on, and get the lights going. Fuel pumps are already on. We're not using external power, we're on APU only, so we're pretty much good to go. So Nafraz, shall I give you the cockpit preparation checklist now then?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, so gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Fuel quantity,
That's 16,080.
16,080
Yeah.
kilos. Yep, that's checked. Seatbelts,
Seatbelt signs on.
very good. And ADIRSs,
2 nav.
yep, very good. All three are in nav. And barrel reference.
By reference 1003.
1003. We're reading 2,020 feet. So, and that's cross-checked on the ISIS as well. All right, that's the cockpit preparation checklist completed. Let's get the beacon going, and put the strobes in auto, please. Beacon and the strobes in auto, right? And then that's going to be so we can tell the cabin crew now. So cabin crew, prepare doors and cross check. Thank you. So they're going to start closing the doors, arming the slides, and once they're ready to do that, we can do our before start checklist. So just waiting on the doors to get closed. All right, that's pretty much done. So I can now give you the before start checklist if you want.
Yes, go ahead, please.
All right, stand by. Okay, the before start checklist is going to be parking brakes.
Set.
They're on. Yeah, perfect. Takeoff speeds.
Idle.
Takeoff speeds.
Takeoff speeds.
Yeah, the ones on
that's
the- yeah.
149, 152, and 157.
All right, 149, 152, 157, and it's showing
Hello,
on.
Captain. We are ready for pushback.
All right, stand by. Thank you. All right, and windows and doors.
Locked.
Yep, closed. Exactly. And the beacon.
Beacon lights on.
All right, so that's the before start checklist complete, and all we got to do now is wait for our push and start. So guys, we'll get back to you when we're holding short of the runway, and we're pretty much ready to go. Okay. All right, so we've done our pushback. Nafraz started both engines for us, and they've pushed us back over here, right onto the taxiway to go to taxiway Echo, and then over to the runway right over there. And Nafraz, so I've done my pre-flight items, so now what's required is for us to do a flight control check. All right, so give me full left on the side stick, please.
Full left.
Full right.
Full right.
Neutral.
Neutral.
All right, give me full up.
Full up.
Full down.
Full down.
And neutral, please.
Neutral.
All right, on the rudders, give me full left.
Full left.
Neutral.
Neutral.
Full right.
Full right.
And neutral. Excellent. All right, so I'm just going to quickly check mine just to make sure everything's working. Moving my side stick as well. All right, everything's looking good. We can go ahead and complete all these items as well. And I'm going to give you now the taxi checklist. All right,
Yep.
which is the flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flap settings.
Flaps 1.
Yeah, 1 plus F.
1 plus F.
All right, gonna get the TCAS going as well. And radar and predictive wind shear,
Is on.
checked. Engine mode selector,
To normal.
yep, it's normal, perfect. And ECAM memo,
Takeoff. No.
takeoff no blue. All right, excellent. So that's looking good there. And now it's time to taxi over. So we're gonna turn off the dome lights so we can actually see outside the window. And now it's time to taxi over. So let's. You have control.
Have control.
Yep, we're gonna just basically taxi straight up and then take a right-hand turn. All right.
All right.
You ready to go?
Ready to go.
Excellent. All right.
Releasing parking brakes.
Yep, release the parking brakes. Let's get the nose light to taxi first.
Yeah.
Yep, nose light to taxi right over there. And the runway turn off on as well, which is this one over here. Up. There we go. Nose lights are on. Taxi over.
So taxi confirmed. We're
Yep.
going right.
Yeah, we're going
And,
left. We're going straight, and then we're taking a left onto Echo, and then right onto Juliet. All right. Go for it. right, let's slow it down just a bit. All right, you see the yellow line?
Yep.
Follow that to the left. There we go. There we go, that's gonna help you out. And then we're gonna take the next right turn that comes up and head out towards the runway, and then we'll hold short of the runway and finish our last checklist. Yep, try and stay right in the middle of that yellow line as best you can. Alright, continue straight down. Alright, in the meantime, I'm just gonna do my final checks. Alright, cabin crew, be seated for takeoff. And I'm gonna get the TCAS to TA and RA. And yeah, I'll do the lineup checks. Okay, let's hold short over here. Very nice. Okay, gonna hold short right here, and I'm gonna do the lineup checks, which is takeoff runway is runway 23 left confirmed, and the TCAS is on TARA, and the packs are on for takeoff. So we're good to go. Let me get the lights for you. All right, let's line up with the runway. In dock. Alright, runway 23 left confirmed. Alright, whenever you're ready, let's get going. Stow away my tray table, and we are good to go.
Alright, Captain, ready?
Ready, sir. She's yours to fly. So we're gonna set 50% first on the N1. There we go. Little forward pressure on the side stick. There we go. And punch it. Go for Toga.
Man Toga, SRS, runway, on the thrust.
Check. And takeoff thrust is set. Alright, a little bit of, yep, that's it. Just maintain center line as best you can. She's heavy and you can feel it.
Yeah.
100 knots. You can now centralize the side stick. There we go. There's that crosswind we were talking about. Alright, V1, rotate. Keep it coming, there we go. Right onto the flight directors as quickly as you can. Okay. That's it, positive rate.
Gear up, please.
Gears coming up. Into the night sky. Alright, just keep following the SRS, which is those flight directors, and that's going to help us stay on track to where we have to go. Still got a little bit of sun left in the horizon. Alright, so once we get to about 1500 feet, or rather 1600, sorry, it's going to be 3,500, you will get the thrust reduction acceleration, which means we're going to bring them back from Toga 2 clicks back, alright? There we go. Alright, there's lever climb, so you want to bring the thrust levers back 2 clicks. That's it. So speed, all star, thrust, auto thrust white. And what we can do, let's assume we've been cleared up to 340. So we're gonna take it up to, initially we'll go up to 300. Okay, there you go. Thrust climb, and 30 blue. Once we cross the S, you can ask me for flaps up. right over the city of Damascus. Lit
Flaps up, please.
Speed checked and flaps up. These are the spoilers and the two outer lights off. Excelente. So our next waypoint is Adra, where we've got to be 10,000 feet or higher. And if you come down here, we go over to the progress page. It says our optimum is going to be 320. So we're going to go ahead and go straight to flight level 320, okay? 320 set, and I'm going to put 320 as our initial cruise, and then as we burn off the fuel, we'll climb higher.
Copy. Engaging autopilot 2.
All right, yep. AP2 set. There we go. All right, we just crossed 10,000 and we're going to be lowering the nose so the aircraft can accelerate to higher speeds. And I'm going to do my 10,000 checks. The main landing lights off, and we check if the weather is good. It is good, so we're going to go with seatbelt signs off. And now the crew can start the service. Going to get the terrain radar going as well so we can see those mountains that we're going to be crossing. And yeah, so literally over those mountains is the Mediterranean Sea. And actually you can see that on the screen right there. We're going to go straight and then left, and then right over there is where we enter the Mediterranean Sea. Alright guys, so that's pretty much all we have to do for now. We're clear to flight level 320, which is also our optimum for today's flight. And once we get there, we're going to just monitor our systems, enjoy the views, maybe have a coffee, and then yeah, just make sure the aircraft is doing what it needs to. Get back to you guys when we're in the cruise. Alright guys, we're over Larnaca, and we've just reached our cruising altitude. You can see alt cruise. We're at flight level 320, and we're 32 minutes into the flight. And if we come over to our progress page, you can see what was 32,000 is now 33,000, flight level 330. So that means we can actually go up higher. So if you want to set it to 33 on the FCU,
Sure, setting 33,000.
and push. There we go. So now we're going to get thrust climb, 330 blue, aircraft's going to climb up. And because you did that, our new cruising altitude is now flight level 330. So guys, that's basically how we do our step climbs. We climb to a certain altitude that we think is optimum. We burn off the fuel. The minute it tells us we can go higher, we request it, and then we climb. So that's pretty much how we do it. So yeah, we'll get back to you when we've about an hour from now with an update on the fuel. As of right now, everything's looking good. We're expected to have 5.2 tons when we arrive back in where are we going? Algeria. All right, cool. Get back to you guys later. Look at that sunset. Alrighty guys, it's been an hour and 45 minutes in flight. We're over the Mediterranean Sea, just past the island of Crete, and we're pretty much on our way towards Algeria. So, introducing your first officer today, which is Nafraz, and go ahead bro, introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, thank you Captain. Well, my name is Nafraz. I'm originally from Sri Lanka, but lived in UAE for a long time. I think, well, if I have to count my years, almost 90% of my life, I would say. So, well, I am a pilot at the moment, and you see me here flying the A320, and we are currently cruising at 33,000 feet. So Captain, if you have any questions, well, I'll be happy to answer.
Oh yeah, all right. So where did you, what license do you have, and where did you do your training?
All right, currently I'm holding a CPL.
Commercial
pilot
license.
license,
All right.
with instruments and multi.
Okay.
And I'm in the progress of writing my ATP exams as well to make it frozen ATPL.
Gotcha.
And then I did my training completely in South Africa.
South Africa. All right. Same as me. All right. Nice. And all right. If I was to ask you, why did you? Because your day job is you're in IT, right?
Right. I'm
You're
IT project manager.
You're a
by
project
day.
manager for IT.
Yeah.
All right. So so he's by day he's a project manager and Batman by night. I mean pilot by night.
Yeah.
As you can tell. But If I was to ask you in the simplest of forms, why aviation? You could have gone on any other field. Why this?
Well, long story if we have some time, but if I really, like go too long, don't forget to hit that eject button under your seat.
Oh yeah, under my seat.
Yes.
I'll be ejected.
It should be ejected. So
Which is
the
probably
thing
a good
is,
thing,
it
yeah.
all started when I was a child. I was not introduced to aviation by any means. Well, I didn't have an aviation background, not even through my family members or friends. So, well, I think I was around 9 and I was kind of turning 10. Those days, I hardly see an aircraft flying over me like as a child. But every time when I saw an aircraft flying above me, like I always thought, why cannot I be there? Instead of saying bye from the ground, why
Right.
cannot I do? Completely the opposite.
All right, you wanted to be up there with the aircraft.
Yeah. So during that period, I did not know what an aircraft is all about, and what do pilots do, and how many pilots sits in the aircraft. Nothing, zero knowledge. I'm talking about early 90s, where we did not have access to computers, Googles,
Yep.
nothing at all. I
Right.
mean, not even a search engine. Then later, when I was 2 years passed by, I was still dreaming about flying, and then I kind of picked myself, and I really wanted to. Well, I think that's the age where I think, especially when a child goes to the teenage, that's the pressure starts. What do you want to be in life?
Right.
Well, those days, everyone gave me suggestions like doctor, lawyer, engineer.
Right.
But nobody was hearing my idea about being a pilot. Well, when I tell them that I wanted to be a pilot, the idea was, no, that's not okay. This is not for you. Stuff like that every time.
Yep.
Every time it was not a positive answer. But then I realized, okay, I need to find out how I can be. So I did all my scrap work, like in school. I did those paper cuttings and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And then, while I was in Dubai during that time, I even went to the library, got that Flight International magazine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, got pictures of an A320. So basically, the first aircraft I got to know was an Airbus.
Okay.
I didn't even know a Cessna existed.
Right.
I got to know about Cessna after 4 or 5 years down the line.
Okay.
So I did all my scrap book work, knowing what a PFD is, not what a PFD does, but knowing what a navigation display is, what a flight control unit is, things like that. So I kept on dreaming. I kept that work going during my teenage. And I think when I was 13, I was having a flight from Dubai to Sri Lanka.
Mm-hmm.
And the captain introduced me to the cockpit. Actually, he did not introduce, I kind of self-introduced myself, because when the cabin crew member asked me, like, what do you like to have? What do you want? Can I please see the cockpit, please? So that was something that I was trying to tell him.
All right. So she
So-
offered you
so she-
chicken or fish, and you chose cockpit. All right.
Exactly. I said, is it possible? So during those days, I mean, you can walk into the cockpit with an
Yeah,
invitation.
pre 9/11. Yeah.
Yeah, pre 9/11. So I was there, and then I was pretty impressed to see the actual cockpit. What I was seeing in pictures, it was completely different.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I was frozen for a bit, but the pilots made me really comfortable. I mean, people on the ground didn't make me comfortable when I always wanted to become a pilot. But the thing is, the pilots made me comfortable. The first question he asked, do you know which aircraft is this? Well, before even getting into the flight, I read that it was written 330/-200.
All right.
So I immediately told him, he's like, how do you know? Well, I was on a stream and I said, I read it, but I know about this aircraft. He asked me, what exactly do you know about this aircraft? Then I told him, well, that's a PFD, that's a navigation display, and stuff. I mean, those little things. And he was like, okay, so you knew about all these things. How did you know? Because like I said, Captain, like, there was no internet.
Yeah.
There's not even a picture that I could go and download. So I kept my dream living. I think that's very important for everyone. Well, flying never came in easy means to me. I had to work almost like 8 to 9 years to collect that funds to pay for my CPL.
Gotcha.
But here I am with you today. I'm
Alright.
flying the A320.
Nice.
Even by day as a project manager, and at night as a 320 pilot, I'm just doing that. And it amazes me to sit in this cockpit, which I saw for the first time in my life.
Okay.
when I was like 12 or 11 during that period.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, it's just a matter of keeping that dream living, and
Excellent.
So that's how it was going all these years.
Excellent. And somebody you and I know who's probably going to be watching, who's your fiance, who's
Right.
also a pilot.
Yes.
She's also a pilot in the making. So would you like to give Ruhi a shout out?
Hi Rui, here we are at 33,000 feet over DAAG, and we are heading to Algeria, if I said it right.
Oh yeah.
So just hi to you, but I'm not sure where exactly you are at the moment.
Yeah. She's busy. She's flying as well.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, pleasure to have you on board. And guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about his flying skills, because you're going to see his landing in just
I'd
just
say
a
it
little
might be
bit.
a bad one, but just have some patience with me.
Don't worry. Our subscribers are very patient, very supportive people, right? And yeah. So, anyways, I just invited Nafraz to come along and help me film this segment, and he's got the passion for flying. He's already got his commercial pilot's license, multi-engine, and instruments. So the next step for him would be to get a Airbus A320 type rating, and then he can start pretty much applying to whichever airlines are hiring at the moment. So it won't be long before you see this guy in a cockpit flying maybe one of you in the future. So everyone, just in the comments below, give Nafraz a good shout out, and let's encourage him and support him on his journey to becoming an airline pilot. And in the meantime, hey, whenever I'm filming these videos, you're welcome to be part of the journey. So yeah. Now, speaking of journey, as we were talking about earlier, we're now 2 hours into the flight, and looking at our updates on the optimums, we now have 340 on the optimum. So let's assume let's just assume that we've requested for 340 from ATC and they've cleared us. So let's go now from 330 to 340. So go ahead and put 340 in there and push it in. All right, so that puts the aircraft in thrust climb and climb mode, and we're going to go up to 340. And as you can see here, it's changed again to 340 on our cruise. And looking at the fuel parameters, we've got 10.2 tons of fuel on board. We're expected to have 5.4 tons when we get there. The headwinds are still giving us a bit of a hard time, but it seems like it's not going to be a fuel factor for us. But obviously we're going to monitor this as we go along, as we continue on with our track. So yeah, thanks Nafraz for being a part of the flight.
Thank you very much for having me.
Guys, by the way, if you want to be a part of any of our future flights, you can do so. Just contact us using the information in the description box below, or at the end of this video you'll see our contact details. And if you're in the UAE and you want to fly the next leg with us, you can do that. You just like Nafraz, you can be a part of the next leg. So you'll just feel free to contact us. And as always, guys, if you have any questions on what we're doing in the cockpit, or if you see me or Nafraz push something, do something, describe something, feel free to ask us in the comments below. We always reply to every single comment. So yeah, let's end this interview here.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll get back to you guys again with an update in probably another hour and a half. So what's probably going to be a few seconds for you guys is going to be another 2 hours for us. But then that's what it's like being a pilot. You sit back, you relax. If I turn off the dome lights, that's the view we get to enjoy. So even at night, it's nice and bright and pretty cool. So guys, get back to you in a couple of hours with an update on the fuel, and potentially maybe we'll have to do the approach briefing as well at that time. So we're gonna just chill and relax, grab some coffee, and get back to you later. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and 3 hours and 40 minutes later, here we are, just about to enter Algerian airspace, and it's nighttime. It's about 10 o'clock in the night right there. So yeah, what we're gonna do now is, as you can see, we've got a 100-mile ring coming up. So once we cross that, we're going to be 100 miles away from Algiers. So what we're going to do now is we're going to jump on into the laptop, and we're going to check the weather, check the ATIS, check our landing options, and then we're going to come back into the cockpit, and we're basically going to fill it in and then get going. All right, see you guys at flight ops. All right, guys, here we are looking at the weather. So the last report was, I'm just going to refresh it. The last report was 58 minutes ago. The QNH is 1009er. The winds are 010 at 6 knots, and we've got a temperature of 33 degrees with a dew point of 24. We've got some broken clouds at 20,000 feet and a few clouds at 3,300 feet, about 6.2 statute miles of visibility. Now, given that the winds are 0106 knots, keeping that in mind, let's get over to our charts and let's bring up our airport page. So I've got Algiers, which is Houari Boumediene Airport, Boumediene. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering the name, but yeah, Houari Boumediene Airport. And looking at the 10-9 plate of the airport, you can see that we've got runways 09, 27, and on the other side of the airport we have 05 and 23. So considering that the winds are 010, and we can probably take runway 09, and it's only 6 knots of wind, so we can stick with runway 09. All right, so now what we want to do is, if we come to our approaches, we can take ILS for 09. So there's a VOR DME ILS for runway 09, and I'm referring to plate number 11-1 VOR DME ILS or VOR DME for runway 09. We'll do an ILS. The ILS frequency is 108.5. 0901 is the final course, and the final approach fix is at 1,595 feet. And coming down, if we look at for the ILS, we're category Charlie. Our minimums are 276. All right, and basically looking at the missed approach procedure, as soon as possible, turn left to climb to a radial of 344 Alpha Lima Romeo to 3,060 feet, and as directed. So basically we would probably set 3,060 feet as our go around altitude, which is also marked in right over here. So as you can see, we'll be coming in from this direction over here, and ALR, that's the Dar El Bieda VOR, is on our way. So the procedure would be for us to come over the VOR, cross the NDB. At the NDB, which is the SMR, the CMAR NDB, we go outbound 316 degrees for about a minute, and then we turn back in to 0901 degrees, keeping it at 2,240 feet, descending down, which is a 3-degree descent down to our minimums of 276. So that's the procedure we've got for the approach and the landing. You good with that, Nafraz?
Yeah.
All right, now looking at our taxi, landing on runway 09, we could potentially exit at Juliet 3, and if we come over to the parking stands, once we exit at Juliet 3, we can probably come to Juliet 7, and then we'll see whatever gate they assign to us. So we'll probably come here, hold short at Juliet 7, and then we'll see which terminal they give us. Is it terminal 4, terminal 1? We'll find out as we get there. All right, so now let's get back into the cockpit, where we're going to do our calculations for the descent and program the MCDU in as well. All right, I'll see you guys over at the flight deck. All right, Nafraz, let's program in our approach. Okay, so if you'd like to go to the flight plan page, and go into Delta Alpha Alpha Golf at the very bottom.
Yeah.
All right, go to arrivals. Now we already have ILS 09 selected there. Go wire, choose the wires, which is right over there.
Right.
Yep, LSK2, and we want to go MAR. So let's select MAR. Now if we come over into our plan mode here and zoom in a little bit, if we cycle through, we can see that Once we get there, we're gonna go over to that waypoint there. Just insert it to confirm, just to make sure.
Sir?
All right, so now if I come over here, go to the airport page, and zoom in a little bit more, we can see that as we get to Alpha Lima Romeo, we're probably going to be vectored out. All right, yeah, so MAR, and then we're going to go outbound and then back in. So that's pretty much there in the box as required. Yeah, it's going to take us straight to MAR, and then inbound towards the ILS. So that works out pretty well for us, okay? But maybe we might get some vectors, but we'll see. Either way, we have a flight plan that we can follow. So now the next thing you want to do is you're going to come to the RadNav page, and if I would just bring up the charts, we want to lock in our VOR. So the VOR over standby. I actually have the wrong charts in front of me. Okay, here we go. All right. So the VOR we want to lock in is Alpha Lima Romeo.
Alpha Lima and Romeo.
Okay, put it on VOR 1 and put it on VOR 2 as well. Yeah, select the first one. Yeah, do the same for VOR 2 so we can track that. Yep, VOR 2. That's it. Come to the progress page. On the top, put Delta Alpha Alpha Golf 09 in there, so that we're tracking the yeah, put it right there on the bottom right. Perfect. So now we've got our actual bearing and distance to the airport, and we're always checking GPS primary and accuracy is high.
Yeah.
Now we're going to go to the performance page, and we're going to go next phase and next phase again. And here it's asking you for the weather information, so I'm going to give that to you just now.
Sure.
Okay, the winds are 0. The QNH today is 1009er.
1009.
Temperature is 32.
32.
Winds are 010/7. And our minimums for the approach are going to be 276 under barrel. And that's it. All right, so we've got 276 on our barrel as well, and pretty much everything worked out. So now the last thing we want to do is work out our descent. So we're currently at 3,500. Final approach fix is 2240. So if I bring up a calculator very quickly, 35,000 feet minus 2240, which means we have to lose 32,760 feet, and we're going to basically divide that by 1,000, multiply it by 3, and we're going to add 5 just for accuracy. 103. All right, so 103 miles away from our destination is when we should start our descent. We're already within 100 miles of the airport, so we're going to start the descent now. So let's set 2,200 in there, and we're going to start the descent. Let me get the lights on, and we got some weather coming up in front of us as well. So 2,200 and push. That's it. All right, we got alt descent, alt in magenta. It's got its 3,200 constraint, and yeah, we're pretty much heading straight for the VOR right now. And let's go ahead, and because we're going to go below transition altitude, which is transition altitude over here is 3940. So since we're descending down to below transition, we're going to go ahead and set the QNH now to 1009er. Perfect. All right, and that pretty much does that. We can get the seatbelt signs going now. Go ahead. And that's pretty much what we have to do for now, and I can give you the approach checklist whenever you're ready.
Approach checklist.
All right, so approach checklist, barrel reference
1009.
1009, crossing 34,100 now. Checked. All right. Seatbelts
Seatbelts idle.
on. Yep, and we have it there as well. The minimums on the barrel.
Minimums 276.
Yeah, 276 is checked. And because this is a pretty long runway, you can use auto brakes low, so pre-select auto brakes low.
Auto brakes low.
Yep, and engine mode selector.
To normal.
All right, so that's the approach checklist done. All right, so all we got to do now is just monitor our descent, make sure we get down at the right profile altitude, and then after that it's just joining the ILS. And because this is an ILS, we can probably turn on our ILS screens now as well, and we're good to go there. Excellent. So continue with the rest of the hat. So you did the performance part, come down to fuel prediction, and we still got 3.9 tons, an hour and 56 minutes of endurance. That's looking good. And now go to secondary flight plan and copy active. That's it. That's the hat, and that's the entire approach procedure done. So usually we keep the lights off for nighttime landings, and here we go. We got some clouds. Those are the clouds they were telling us that sit at 33,000 feet, and then we're actually expecting some CBs down at the lower altitude, so we'll see. And there's the city of Algiers coming into view. So guys, we'll definitely get back to you when we're about to shoot the approach. Get back to you soon. And here we are, guys, right over Algiers, and we're just right over the Alpha Lima Romeo VOR. The airport is literally right underneath us, and we're just making our way outbound now, where we will then literally go outbound that way and then turn around, come back and join the ILS. So we've got 2,200 set in there. Everything's looking good. We're just coming up on 10,000 feet. So that's the aircraft the aircraft will try to slow down, so use the speed brakes as and when required, Nafraz.
Yeah, sure.
Just to make sure that we stay on our altitude profile. There we go. So we got close to 10,000, so the aircraft is now pitching up, trying to lose the airspeed. We could probably see how it does. If it doesn't, if the profile goes way too low, then we're gonna have to use the speed brake to get down there. All right. So that's looking good there so far. And as we cross below our 10,000, I'm going to do the 10,000 checks, which is getting the landing lights going, seatbelts are on, constraints, and then we just come over here and copy active, and pretty much everything else is good to go. 33 miles to go before we activate the approach phase. So yep, so far so good. The weather report did mention that we've got some clouds at 3,300, and those are CBs, so we're just looking out for them in the we're just keeping an eye out for those as well. So we'll see what happens. We've done the approach checklist. All that's left now is the landing checklist, and then we land. That's pretty much it. Have you been to Algeria before?
No, not.
Well, you are now. Alrighty, cool. All right, guys, we're just going to let the aircraft reach the point MAR, and then we're going to turn around and come back. We were supposed to do the procedure to go out and then come back in, but we decided to choose this one here, where it literally takes us outbound, and we'll make a sharp right-hand turn, and then that will put us in a good position to capture the glide slope and localizer and come back in. All right, there's a big moon out there today, so that's looking nice. It's gonna dim the cockpit lights so there's nothing reflecting on our screens while we're preparing for a nighttime landing, which is very normal for a nighttime landing. So we'll dim these down just a little bit. There we go. And we can probably turn these guys down as well. So these knobs here will also reduce those guys over there. And there we go. Nicely set up for a nighttime landing. Just look at the moon reflecting on the Mediterranean Sea right over there. All right, we're about 5.6 miles from Mike Alpha Romeo. Then it's turning around and coming back in. So I'm gonna go nav for 360, and we're 24 track miles away from touchdown. And the turn should come in pretty soon. All right, 20 track miles to go, less than 20, 19 track miles now. Probably a good time to put the tray tables away. So let's store away the tray table. Okay, alright, now for us, as we make the turn, let's arm the localizer and the glide slope, please. And the second autopilot. So you're going to put the approach button and the second autopilot there. That's it. So we've got Cat 3 dual autopilot 1+2. And as we turn, the aircraft will now start to look for the localizer and try to capture it. Here comes the localizer in. And then as soon as we get within range, it's going to capture. There we go. Lock star. And we're basically going to keep our speed up as we turn. Cannot see anything. Oh, here we go. Because we went over the ocean, and with the moon behind us, there's not much. So now we're starting to see the city come back into view. Excelente. Alright, I think I see the airport right over there, just low on our 1 o'clock. Alright, that's looking good there. Alrighty then, I'm gonna go ahead, activate the approach phase. So the aircraft is gonna start slowing down. And as we continue descending to our profile, we're still good on the profile, just 80 feet above it, so we're still okay. And there's the airport right over there. You see it?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. Alright, we got the glide slope as well. So in this scenario, we're going to start descending. So we're going to do a non-standard gear down. Okay, go ahead.
Gear down.
Gear's coming down. As the gear comes out, that's going to create the drag we need to get the aircraft fully configured. Alright, turning for final to capture the localizer. Right over there. Okay, flaps 1's available.
Flaps 1.
Okay, speed check and flaps 1. And since we're on the glide slope, I'll set the go around altitude, which is 3,000. I'll put 3,100 because I can't put 3,020 in there. Alright, flaps 2 is available.
Flaps 2.
Speed check, flaps 2. We got flaps 2. Come on, slow it down. Alright, we got flaps 3 available.
Flaps 3, please.
Speed check and flaps 3.
Inside.
Checked. And I can go ahead and give you full flaps.
Flaps 4.
Speed check, flaps full, and gonna do the landing checklist now. So that's ECAM memo should be landing no blue, in which case we have to see landing gear down and 3 green. That's what we have there. Spoilers have to be, seatbelt signs need to be on, cabin should be ready, spoilers armed, and flaps are set. So everything works out. So by the time we get the landing memo, there it is, landing no blue, so we're good to go. Landing checklist complete, and you are cleared to land. So we still got the autopilot on, so anytime you want, you can disconnect and hand flyer down. So it's up to you, no pressure whatsoever. Very bright city. Alright, looking good. Checked.
500. 400.
Okay, we got land. It's very good.
100 above.
Alright. Okay, autopilot going off. Alright, autopilot's off.
Minimum.
Excellent. Small corrections, just to keep her steady. That's it, nice and steady. Perfect.
100.
This is good. Slight crosswind we got going there. Let's raise the nose and kill the power.
40, 30, 20. Retard.
That's it, nice
Five.
and steady. Flare it. Beautiful. Okay, right rudder, hard right on the rudders. Bring her back in. There we go. That's it. Let's engage reverses. Beautiful. Nice and steady. We got reverses, spoilers, reverses green. Decel. So it's now all on the rudders just to keep it nice and straight. That's it. Small corrections. Excellent. Alright, 70 knots, idle reverse. Alright, you can use the tiller now to kind of help you out. And let's continue going straight and we'll take the next left. Let's go full idle. That's it. Don't stop on the runway. Let the aircraft roll and we're going to take to the next exit. Cool. Yep, at the next exit we'll just exit and then we'll wait for the follow me car to come over and then we'll taxi out. We'll follow him over to our gate, which is gate number 3 apparently. Nicely done.
Thank you.
The winds changed like all of a sudden. We suddenly had like a swap in the wind, so I could see how more rudder was required. All right, so as we exit there, yep, try not to slow down too much because we don't want the traffic behind us to go around. They will hate us for that. Yeah, left is clear. All right, here's the follow me car. All right, let's stop and let him go ahead. Yep, slow the aircraft down, let him go ahead. Yep, we're gonna follow this dude all the way. All right, lead the way. Onwards. Okay, we're exiting the runway, so I'm gonna go ahead with my cleanup. And strobes off. We're just gonna do that. Flaps coming up. TCAS is going off as well. Rudder off. And I'm gonna start the APU. Excellent. You can get the FDs off as well. And I can give you the after landing checklist, which is radar and predictive wind shear. They are off. So that is the after landing checklist complete. Very well done, Nafraz.
Thank you, Captain.
4 hours and 17 minutes. Alright, let's slow it down a little bit. And yep, we're gonna take a left over here. Okay. Alright, so it's basically straight down that way and then to the right. So continue straight. And then yeah, just continue, keep going straight, keep going straight. Yep, that's it.
Follow this taxi.
Yeah, and then we're gonna come here. Yeah, make it a hard right turn. That's it. A little bit more to the right, and you can squeeze the brakes. We'll stop it here. Should turn the lights off when we come to the gate. All right, let's set the parking brakes on. I'll get the lights going for us as well. All right, APU is available. APU bleed is on, so you may shut down engines 1 and 2, sir.
Engine 1.
Yep.
2.
Excellent. And then we're gonna watch for when both engines are below 10%. You're gonna turn off the beacon, seatbelt signs, and the emergency lights. So beacon first. Yeah, put the beacon off first. Beacon. Yep, there we go. Seatbelt signs. Disarm the emergency lights, and yeah, the emergency lights as well can be disarmed. And I will turn off the fuel pumps. And we'll do the parking checklist. Alright, parking checklist. Parking brakes and chocks.
On.
Confirm they're on. Engines.
Engines off.
Off.
And
Off. Yep. And the wing lights. They're off. Yep.
Yep.
And fuel pumps.
Fuel pumps off.
And that is how we do that. Welcome to Algiers. Pleasure flying with you.
Pleasure flying with you, Captain. Thank you.
That was good fun. Guys, hope you enjoyed the video. And I'm gonna Nafraz actually has a YouTube channel as well. I'm gonna link it in the description below as well. He does fitness videos, which personally I find very, very helpful. And you can check it out. And guys, any questions, remarks, anything you gotta say, let us know in the comments below. For those of you who are not subscribed, please consider subscribing. And I guess that's it from us. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless every single one of you. Have a good evening. Bye bye.